So today I have a fragrance from the house of Cartier. I love Cartier. I think it's one of the fragrance houses, to be quite honest with you, that doesn't get a lot of love, doesn't get a lot of attention, and they do some amazing fragrances in my opinion. Mathilde Laurent is the in-house perfumer for Cartier, and she is incredible in my opinion. I have gotten to try most of their high perfumery range, and I have to say most of it has impressed me. I do like their mainstream releases as well. I think that they don't get enough attention either. Cartier states that they do use natural oud, however they build around that oud to make it last longer and to manipulate it into a scent that they want. So Mathilde Laurent specifically says that she does use real oud in this fragrance and real agar wood oils. However, do take into consideration that it is synthesized because they have to make it last longer. And for a house like Cartier, even though this is your high perfumery range, they do have to be able to scale up. But it's very unlikely that they would be able to make it smell identically to each individual batch. So that is the issue with things like oud, or realistically when using any note on its own raw. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they are skimping out or they're making it cheap. They want consistency across the line. So here is the fragrance that we're talking about today, and it is Oud and Oud. This is a parfum. This is my second oud fragrance from the house of Cartier. I have the Oud and Santal, which was gifted to me for Christmas, and I love that fragrance. I love it so much, in fact, that I barely ever wear it. And secondly, I've actually put it into my safe, so if anything ever happens, it's in there nicely snug and secure because, I don't know, it has really good memories for me. It's a very beautiful fragrance, and it's also very expensive. So the bottle itself is very beautiful. It's going to be a transparent bottle in itself. The liquid is very yellowish. You do get on the back this very beautiful motif, a logo that says Cartier on it with this beautiful strap. At the top it does say Cartier on it, but you do get a very luxurious experience with this house and with this fragrance overall. I would say that it's one of the best packagings that you can get out there, especially because it's not going to be clunky or overly cumbersome. It is a nice premium package without being too much, if that makes any sense. So I love that about it. What you're not going to love is the price, because it's quite expensive. $355 US, and I think this is 80 mils, so it's a very odd size. So it is a 75 mils or 2.5 fluid ounces, and that, like I said, is $355 US. Do take into consideration that these are parfums. They do have some in their high perfumery range that are the same size, but they are eau de toilette. But this one itself is a parfum. The top is ceramic, and it's magnetic. So this fragrance on initial spray reminded me of another fragrance that actually launched after this. It is Les Lions by Chanel, and I was actually looking at a few different reports, a few different posts and articles, and people were saying that Oud and Oud did not remind of Les Lions, but they would say that Oud Amber reminded them of Les Lions, which is, I don't have that fragrance, I haven't smelt it, but this fragrance itself reminds me very much of Les Lions by Chanel. Now, where this one is warmer, but it's also a little bit more aloof in comparison to Les Lions. Les Lions plays a little bit more into that powdery character that is so well known in the house of Chanel. The fragrance is intimidating, it is beautiful, but at the same time, it's very, like I said, aloof. It's that person that you find very attractive that walks into a cafe or to a restaurant, and you just can't quite tell where their mind or their state of mind is at, if they are interested or if they're not interested. They're just very aloof. And that is what this fragrance is giving. It is giving mystery, it is giving character, it is giving wealth, luxury, opulence, but in a more sophisticated, pulled back type of way. Fragrance of Oud and Santal credited plum as one of the notes. This one only credits oud. And I find that hard to believe because there are some spices in this fragrance. There are some very beautiful resin notes in here. It sort of reminds me, and I think I said this before with the Oud and Santal, it reminds me of Le Panther by Cartier. I'm not saying it's Le Panther, but it reminds me of that fragrance, the character and the DNA that that fragrance does have. It also reminds me of the character of the classic Cartier fragrance, which is Musc de Cartier, but I think that this one modernizes that. I cannot speak. But it also adds that very Middle Eastern flair with that oud, and it makes it very opulent, expensive, premium in that Middle Eastern type of way as well. So it's like grabbing a very talented designer from the Middle East, bringing them to Paris to learn haute couture, and bringing those together to craft something beautiful. That is what this fragrance is. It's refined, it's expensive. Now, where I do want to give you a big disclaimer is this. If you're expecting something that's going to be very animalic, very oud centered, this is not the one. It plays more into the Cartier heritage, that Le Panther DNA, as well as that Musc de Cartier DNA, but it also plays into that oud character, making this fragrance very unique. So it's not going to be like anything else on the market. If you're looking for a unique oud experience, this is definitely unique. It's not going to be like anything else out there that you have smelled before. Longevity for this is good. Obviously, being a parfum, you do get anywhere from 6 to 7 hours. And that is just me being picky because I actually got to smell it on clothes days after I was wearing it. Do I recommend this fragrance? Yes. Now, I'm going to say something. You are a young millennial or a Gen Zer, this may not be the one for you because it does target more of that person that has already found their voice and their character. If you are younger, this may swallow you up and wear you versus you wear it, and that is where this fragrance can be a little bit more on the intimidating side. It's not heavy, that's not what I'm saying. It's not overwhelming either. It's just a fragrance that has its true character, and if you haven't found your voice, then that character can definitely overshadow you. So it is just a very quick advice segment that I'm giving you here. But I would recommend it. I do think that it's a very beautiful scent. I do think that it's worth it. I think that more people should talk about Cartier. I mean, it is the bomb. Like, I love Cartier. I love their fragrances. I love their high perfumery range. I wish I could get more. They are very expensive though. But they're really, really good in quality. So it's one of those things where you typically gripe about I typically gripe about other designer houses being very expensive, but with Cartier I don't, because I know that Cartier also delivers when it comes to quality and performance, something that I can't say unfortunately for a lot of other houses like Chanel. So what do you think of Oud and Oud by Cartier? Have you tried it? Have you not tried it? Let me know all of that down below. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more fragrance related content. I love to see you watch my videos. I love to see you comment. Until next time, take care.